up this morning and I pray to the Most High. The sun is shining so bright. I'm blessed to live this life. Yahawashi. Blessed be Yahawah. Blessed be Yahawah.
All right, shalom, sisters, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, praise to the Most High Bahasham. This is on my spirit to do like a few weeks ago, but I haven't been able to get to it. But I just wanted to come on here and do a quick video, just a tip to help y'all grocery shop through the spirit. So we know that, of course. Oh, first, let me get this first. 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahawah. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahawah giveth, that Yahawah in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So everything we say, we want to be thus saith the Lord. We want to speak the oracles of the Most High. We want to speak the oracles of the Most High. And, give all honor, glory, praise to the Most High, because only of the Lord that we're able to get on here and do these things. And I want to get Hebrews 10:24, and it says, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. So I'm on here, provoking my sister unto good works, so kind. So like I was saying, this video is going to be, just to going over, kosher symbols to help y'all in the grocery store to save time. Because I know, being in captivity, we got to check ingredients, because according to the law, dietary law, we're not allowed to eat pork and shrimp, crab, lobster, anything that don't have fins and scales. And we're not allowed to eat animals that don't chew the cud and don't have their cloven-footed and things like that. Or paraphrasing, we're going to go over the law about that here in a few, but so like I was saying, according to the law, there are certain things that we can't eat. And Esau, in his craftiness, he puts a lot of unclean ingredients in our snacks and our favorite foods and things like that. So we have to check the ingredients and make sure they're clean, because sometimes they will get fatty acids from pig or fatty acids from other unclean animals and put it in our food. So it's very imperative that we check the ingredients on our food and do our diligence, because we want to keep the law to the best of our ability. And of course, we eat defiled bread of the Gentiles. We can't, keep the law perfectly. We want to strive our best to strive to be as blameless as possible. So if we have the power in our hand to do good, as Proverbs 3:27 say, we want to do good. So if we have the power in our hand to, try our best to keep the dietary law to the T, then we need to strive to do that. And we can do that by checking our ingredients and making sure we're not eating anything unclean. So we're gonna go to the law first, and then we're gonna get into everything else. So first we're gonna go to Leviticus 11. And for my sisters that are not aware of who you are, you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native American Indian sisters, you are the Israelites according to the Bible, and the law is not done away with. Christ did not come to do away with the law. He said in Matthew 5:17, he didn't come to destroy the law, he came to fulfill it. So he came to fulfill everything the prophet spoke about. He came to fulfill that what was written of him. I ain't gonna go too far into that. Just letting y'all know the law is not done away with, and we do have to keep the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, whom the world ignorantly calls, the Most High God and His Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and His name is Yahawashi in the Paleo Hebrew. So we're gonna get into Leviticus 11. The dietary law can also be found in Deuteronomy as well. I don't remember what chapter, but we're gonna start at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven-footed and cheweth cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. And nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that devour the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but devoureth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. So we can eat whatever is cloven-footed, parts the hoof, and chews the cud. Those are the things we can eat. And I'm going to pull up that in a minute, so I'll give y'all some pictures. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. And a lot of people, they think Paul, they think we can eat everything, because Paul said all meats are to be given with thanksgiving. But Paul knew the law. He kept the law. So he didn't have to reiterate what meats he was talking about, because Paul was only talking to people who knew the law. Paul, if you don't know the law, you don't keep it, then Paul is not talking to you. And, who said that? Peter said that, if I'm not mistaken, Paul's letter is going to lead people to destruction, because a lot of people don't understand Paul's letters, and it's hard for them to understand it. So when Paul was saying that we can't eat, that when Paul was saying that the meats are to be received at Thanksgiving, he was talking about the clean foods in the Bible. But again, I'm not going to get into deep into that, but I just want to touch on that, because a lot of sisters, they be like, well, Paul said this, that we can eat everything with Thanksgiving. He wasn't talking about unclean foods, because Paul kept the law. And like I said, I ain't gonna get into, you know what, I might as well pull the precept, prove all things. What's that precept about Paul keeping the law? Oh shoot, hold on. Let's act something.
Say it.
So this is Acts 24:14. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believe in all the things which are written in the law and in the prophets. So Paul believed in everything that was written in the law. And in the law, it tells us not to eat unclean food. It tells us what foods we can and can't eat. So Paul believed in the law. So he's going to keep the law if he believes in it. So when Paul said that the meats are to be received at Thanksgiving, he's talking about the meats that are clean. He doesn't have to make it clear, of what meats are, because the law already did that. He kept the law. He believed in the law. You know, he worshiped the God of our fathers. So, I just wanted to touch on that. So, because a lot of sisters get confused and be like, well, you know, let me just pull the precept. This is 1 Timothy 4:4. For every creature of Yahawah is good and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving. So just because when Paul said that, he wasn't saying that we can eat whatever meat and receive it with thanksgiving, because the Lord already told us what we couldn't eat. And Yahawashi already said in the New Testament he didn't come to destroy the law, and Paul believed in the law. He kept the law. Paul said that the law is holy, good, and just. So again, like Peter said, a lot of people gonna be destroyed because they don't understand Paul's letters. So sisters, stop running up Paul's letters. But like I said, I don't want to get into deep in that. I just had to touch on that through the Spirit, because I know, it can be confusing. But reading on verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean unto you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. And all that have not fins nor scales in the seas and in the rivers, and of all that move in the waters, they shall be an abomination. So like you. And all that have not fins nor scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever have not fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination: the eagle and the ossat, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckow, and the hawk after his kind, so on and so forth. So read those on your own time. I'm not going to read the whole Leviticus 11, but I just wanted to get the first few, because that's mainly what they do. They mainly put pork and stuff in the food, so I just wanted to get that. But these are animals that parts, hoof, and chew cut, because Google will definitely tell you and show you. See, this is right here. Google pulls up stuff like this, like clean versus unclean meats and stuff like that, because they know the law. They know that we the chosen. So these things are good to look at, to reference to, because it tells you the clean land animals, the unclean land animals. So let's look at it. We got some clean land animals. Beef, cattle, deer, gazelle, giraffe, goat, hart, ox, moose, ox, reindeer, sheep. We're going to have to prove our thing. We're going to go back to the scripture for that. All right, unclean land animals. We got obviously dogs and cats. I don't know if you eating a dog or cat, you sick. That's madness. Pig, donkey, horse. Folks out here eating donkey? That's mad. So, look at things like this. These are good. These are really good. These are good. So, look. This is what cloven foot and part the hoof look like. Right? So, animals that look like this, that have their cloven hoof. Think of a cloven hoof with like a slit in the middle. And think of a part the hoof like kind of like so let's look at some more. So yeah, think of it like this. This is a cloven hoof. Part the hoof and cloven footed. Part the hoof and cloven footed. So animals that look like that at the bottom of their feet. And they gotta chew the cud as well, meaning fully chew their food and all that. But anyways, you know, Google, if you do research and you look up unclean animals according to the Torah, according to Leviticus 11, it'll tell you. Like this right here, it'll tell you, because the so-called Amalekites, which are Edomites, but you know, the Amalekites in Israel that are professing to be the real Jews, that are the fake Jews, they Jewish, they keep the dietary law. So Google has a lot of references that you can go to help find what animals are clean and unclean. But although so although we're in captivity and we eat and devour bread of our Gentiles, Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat the defiled bread among the Gentiles, with our drive them. So we have no idea the stuff they put in our foods. Like Esau do some really wicked stuff. Like it be aborted baby cells in foods. You know, there's no telling what they do to this food, and that's why we got to pray over it. And there's an account, and I don't remember the book. I think it was in 1 Kings, where something was wrong with the food, and they prayed over it, and the Most High cleansed it. Let me pull it up. This is 2 Kings 4:40. If it loads. Okay. 2 Kings 4:40. So they poured out for the men to eat, and it came to pass as they were eating of the pottage that they cried out and said, O thou man of Yahawah, O thou man of God, there is death in the pot, and they could not eat thereof. But he said, then bring meal, and he cast it into the pot, and he said, pour out for the people that they may eat, and there was no harm in the pot. So Yahawah Bahasham cleansed their food for them. It was, it was poison in the pot. It was death in the pot. So we have to call upon the name of the Lord and pray over our food and ask the Most High, to cleanse our food of any uncleanness, because, we can garden and, grow our own foods and try our best to keep the dietary law, but Esau is just so crafty, and we just never know what's really being done behind the scenes. And if we knew all the wickedness that was going on, we'd probably pass out. So, just make sure, just want to give y'all a tip to pray over your food. But we're going to go over some ingredients that Esau put in the food that we should be aware of. So the first one is enzymes. See, now my Google tripping. It's Satan. But I'm going to just name them, and y'all can look up on your own time. Enzymes, gelatin, glycerin, and monodiglycerides. So those are ingredients that can be either derived from, those are generally fatty acids derived from pork, or derived from beef, or derived from plants and vegetables. So just make sure you check your ingredients, because sometimes it'll tell you if it's derived from beef, or it'll tell you if it's derived from vegetables. If you look on the back, if it's clean, 9 times out of 10 it's going to tell you. It'll tell you if it's vegetable, or if it'll tell you if it's plant. And also this app called Scan Halal. If you scan that app, if you scan Halal, if you scan the barcode, it'll tell you if things are clean or not. Also, if you don't have a credible source telling you if it's unclean or not, if you don't have a credible source, or if the box doesn't say, or if you don't see the kosher sign on the box, I would definitely stay away from it, because we want to try to be blameless as possible, and you could potentially be putting pork in your body, and food ain't that important to be trying to break the law now. So enzyme, let's look up enzyme ingredient, like what it do, where it come from. But if I'm not, because I'm on a roll right now, so if I'm not able to pull it up, just look it up on your own time. But I'm just letting y'all know enzymes, gelatin, glycerin, and monodiglycerides, and also carrageenan if you think it's unclean, because not everybody thinks seaweed is unclean. But if you think that it's unclean, definitely check it out. So enzymes can be obtained from plants, animals, or microorganisms through relatively simple extraction processes. So yeah, enzymes can be, like it just said, derived from animals, plants. Okay, we're gonna go to gelatin. Gelatin is a protein made from animal collagen, usually from cows and pigs. So 9 times out of 10, gelatin usually is from pork. 9 times out of 10. Unless it say beef, it's typically pork. Like every time you see gelatin, just go ahead and it's pork. Gelatin is pork. Unless it says beef on the back, it is pork. Another ingredient, what is it? Lard. Lard is pork as well. If you see lard on the back, that is pork. And let's go to glycerin. Glycerin, okay, see, they not being real. Because glycerin and these products being hair stuff too, y'all. So definitely, be on the lookout. Glycerin is used as an ingredient in a variety of food and beverage products to help retain moisture, prevent sugar crystallization, and add bulk, smoothness, softness, sweetness, and texture. So, what is glycerin made of? Okay. So right here it says glycerin is a type of sugar alcohol compound that is made from either animal fats or plant fats. So again, it can be derived from pork. Let's see. Today, pork is used for its fat to obtain glycerin. So 9 times out of 10, glycerin is from pork as well. If it doesn't say vegetable or plant, you might want to stay away from it. And last but not least, monodiglyceride. Monodiglycerides of fatty acids refers to a naturally occurring class of food additives composed of diglycerides and monodiglycerides, which is used as an emulsifier. It is also used as a fruit coating agent. So I'm telling y'all, these ingredients being literally everything. Literally, it's monodiglycerides literally from everything. Not all monodiglycerides are unclean. So let's look at it. Come on, y'all. Come on. Monodiglycerides may be manufactured through the reaction of plant or animal-derived fatty acids with glycerol, or via the breakdown of plant or animal-derived fat and oils. See that? So it can be made from fatty acids from animals. Just to prove that it can come from pork. People with religious dietary restrictions may also want to avoid monodiglycerides sourced from animal fats such as pork or beef. So, we've proved it. Google doesn't lie. Like I said, the Jewish people, the so-called Jewish people in Israel, they keep the dietary law. And so if you research animals that are clean and unclean, you'll be able to really do your research and figure out animals that are clean and unclean because they keep the dietary law. So it's easy to find these things out. All praises, the Most High, He's created everything for His purpose. Although they're wicked, the scriptures say the Most High has created everything for His purpose. So although these heathens are wicked, the Most High is using them to help us figure out what foods are clean and unclean because of this kosher orthodox union that they have that we're going to touch on in a minute. But, again, gelatin, glycerin, enzymes, and monodiglycerides. 9 times out of 10, gelatin is from pork or beef. Gelatin is 9 times out of 10 from pork, but check the ingredients because it could be from beef. Glycerin is usually from pork as well, but check the ingredients because it could be from vegetable or plant. Enzymes, monoglycerides, same thing, and check for carrageenan if you believe seaweed is unclean. So those are the ingredients you want to look out for. Also check your hair products, check your soap products, everything, because Esau put these ingredients in everything. Like I said, if it does not say it's clean, and sometimes it'll be clean, but you'll have to look it up on a website. So like Pop-Tarts, they have gelatin in it, but on the Pop-Tart website, the official Pop-Tart website, it tells you that the gelatin is from beef. So sometimes, let's prove that. Slovakia. I'm in a car, so it's going slow. So while that's loading, but yeah, so sometimes it'll say it on the back, and if it doesn't tell you on the back what it's derived from, you can try to look it up on the website. If the official website doesn't say it, or you haven't found a credible source and there's no kosher symbol, I would stay away from it. Or sometimes you can call the customer service number. I've done that, because the Velveeta cheese, I called that number, the company that owned it, and they told me that the enzymes was beef derived. They were not from pork, and that video's on my TikTok. So so again, going over it again, check the ingredients in the back. If you don't see if it's clean on the back, check for the kosher symbol. If you don't see the kosher symbol, check the website. And sometimes some people don't want to do all that, especially if you're at the grocery store. But typically when you go to the grocery store, you already know the things that you're looking for. But if you're trying to explore new things, maybe go beforehand, maybe do these research beforehand so you know. But I would typically just look for the symbol, because when I go to the grocery store, I already know what I'm getting. So, if I'm getting something new, I'll check the ingredients. But like I said, check for the kosher symbol. That's what I would most importantly do. If you don't see the kosher symbol, check the back, because sometimes it don't need to have it if it really don't have nothing unclean in it. Like something like orange juice is not gonna have the symbol, obviously. So, I would check for the symbol, and then if I don't see the symbol, I'll look on the back. And if ain't no unclean ingredients on the back, I'll be okay, cool. But if it's potentially an unclean ingredient on the back, and I don't see no symbol, and I don't feel like checking the website, I'm just not gonna get it. So just try to be blameless as possible. So now that we've touched on the law, we've touched on the ingredients, now we're going to go to these pictures. So the Union of Orthodox Jewish Congregation, this is a company that basically, let's read it. So basically it supports the Jewish community, and it has kosher food certification. So it's basically like a certification telling you, if you see a kosher symbol, it's basically from this union telling you this is clean. We've established that it's clean from our rabbi. Okay, so this is their symbol on their food. This if you see this on any of your products, that means that it is clean according to dietary law. And so, let's get this precept. This is a precept that say that roughly, but I don't know what. All right, while we wait for that to load. So like I said, these heathens are wicked, but the Most High is using them for their purpose. So this Orthodox Union is basically the so-called Jewish people. They've come up with this union, this congregation, where they go through foods and stuff like that. They go through ingredients, and they deem where stuff is kosher or whatnot. So if you see this symbol, then it is clean. Okay, the letter U on a food, that means that the food is kosher. It was processed according to the Jewish dietary law. So anytime you see that, it's basically saying it's clean according to our law. According to dietary law in our Bible, it's clean. Because they follow the same, dietary law that we follow, except that they think that cheeseburgers are not clean, stuff like that. Foods that are certified kosher can carry a U in a circle or a K in a circle, star, triangle. A D refers to dairy, so the D indicates that kosher products also contains milk. So, these just another one proving that the kosher symbol means that the food is clean. There's a lot of different symbols, so look for any of something like this. There's so many that mean different things. So see, the UD means that it's kosher, but the enzymes in there are kosher, but it also means it has dairy in it. It's cheese. Like those again, those don't have it, so those will not be clean, but this one does have it. I was just looking through snacks at the grocery store and I was moving just to show y'all. So see, there's another sign, UD. So see, like these right here, UD, that means this is kosher, but it has dairy in it, right? All right, so I'm gonna go over a few more. If it has a U and a D, it means kosher, but has dairy or traces of dairy. Just a U by itself means that it is dairy and meat free. A UDE means that it's made on dairy equipment. And a UGLATT means kosher meat, no dairy meat. A UP means kosher for Passover, and a UK means it's kosher, but it has fish present. So these so-called Jewish people, they don't believe in mixing dairy and meat. So cheeseburgers would be deemed as unclean in their eyes, but we don't believe that, right? So that's really all I had, and I want to get another precept. We're gonna close out. Like I said, it's a lot of kosher symbols, so check it out on your own time. Do your research, y'all. This is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble. So the Lord has created everything for his purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble. So he's already deemed what everything's going to do, what everybody's going to do. So although these heathens are wicked, although they're trying to be us, they're using their union to help us in the grocery store, to help us keep our law, to see what's clean and unclean. So all praise for that. So that's really all I had. I'm just going through my notes, make sure I touched on everything. So it's all praise to the Most High, how the Most High, he still be looking out, helping us find clean food, because we like to eat, y'all. So these kosher symbols in the Orthodox Jewish congregation, they help us keep our laws even better, So yeah, I'm just going through my notes, make sure I touch on everything. Y'all, I'm finna end the video, I'm about done. So some people some people, they'll just eat it, be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just have faith it's clean. I mean, okay, cool, but just try to be as blameless as possible. I honestly would stay away from it, because we can have faith, but you don't want to just be being greedy. Don't be greedy. Try to keep the law to the best of your ability. If you don't know if it's clean, if you don't see the kosher symbol, because the Most High, he's doing everything in his power to help us try to keep our law. He got this Orthodox Union that got the kosher symbols. He help us look on websites, stuff like that. So if it don't got the kosher symbol, if the ingredients on the back don't say if it's clean or not, if the website don't say if it's clean, if you don't call somebody on the phone say it's clean, then stay away from it. Don't be greedy. Because at the end of the day, we want to try to be as blameless as possible. Let me get 2 precepts, and then I'm close out. This is Colossians 3:17, and then 23. And whatsoever you do in the word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahawashi, giving thanks to Yahawah the Father by him. And whatsoever you do, do heartily as to the Lord, not unto men. So everything we do, we want to give it our all to the Most High, and strive to do it to the best of our ability, right? So we want to strive to keep the law to the T, strive to our best. We ain't gonna be able to do everything perfectly because we are in captivity. So just strive to do your best, right? Just strive to be as blameless as possible. And I believe that's I believe that's Philippians 1:8. No. It's 1 Corinthians 1:8. Who shall also confirm you to the end, that ye may be blameless in the day of our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach. So we want to be blameless as possible when Yahawashi come back. We want to have our garments as white as possible. So I pray that this helped y'all in the grocery store. I pray that this help y'all, help y'all find y'all favorite snacks. And let's see if we can see if Pop-Tarts are clean. See that? So this is from Kellogg's. It says the gelatin and frosted Pop-Tart is derived from beef. And this is the official Kellogg's website. Well, I don't know about the official. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so but they'll specify, sometimes one product may be clean, but the other one may not be. So they'll specify. So make sure to keep reading. See, it says the gelatin and frosted Pop-Tarts are derived from beef and is used to help the texture of the product. Plain Pop-Tarts do not contain gelatin. So Lord willing, this was helpful. Like I said, just going over it again. Read the dietary law. And like I said, through the Spirit, check for ingredients: gelatin, glycerin, enzymes, monoglycerides, and carrageenan. Like I said, all of those are not always pork. But most of the time they are pork. It'll clarify if it's from something else. Check websites. Do what you got to do in captivity to try to keep the laws of the Most High to the best of our ability. But, definitely the kosher symbol helps me, because Hawaiian rolls are kosher. They have the UD. But like I said, there's so many symbols. So just check it out on your own time. Go look at websites. Do your due diligence. Don't be ignorant in any matter, big or small, as Iraq say. And I love y'all. Lord, when this is helpful, call Bahasham like Yahawashi. Hey, shout out to the sister Yahawah for provoking me to good works to do this video. So call Bahasham Shalom. So before I go, I want to add that we want to be prudent. Prudent means acting with or showing care and thought for the future. It means to be careful. making sure of avoiding potential danger, mishap, or harm, cautious, circumspect, wary and unwilling to take risks. So we don't want to be taking risks, potentially eating something unclean just because we want to be greedy. We don't want to just be lollygagging with the law, like, well, maybe I got pork, but it's okay. This law is to be taken seriously. So if Yahawah Bahasham said not to eat something, then we need to take that very seriously. And this is not a game. Our life is on the line. So take this law seriously and be prudent and be circumspect in your walk. Check these ingredients, look for those symbols, and do your due diligence, and don't just be willy-nilly in it. Take this thing seriously. Give it your all. So I want to leave it off at that. Call Yahawah Shalom.
Woke up this morning and I